Hello everybody and welcome back to the Integrity Botanicals YouTube channel. I'm coming at you guys today with a little review and swatches of the entire Kjaer Weis eyeshadow collection, and I'm also going to share with you their eyeshadow brushes because I am actually in love with them. So let's start off with the brushes really quick and then we'll get right into the shades. There are 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 shades that I'm going to share with you guys today and 3 brushes. So let's start with the first one. This is just the all over lid brush. It's just called Soft Brush and it looks a little something like this. Nice thick white handle. They have the most beautiful weight to them, and actually when brushes are weighted it makes it easier to apply both in yourself and the other person because of the grip and the way that the brush will lay when you're using it. So this is just a semi-fluffy, if you guys can see, but like quite thin at the bottom, and it goes out to being fluffy brush. I like to use this to pack some color onto the lid, but then you can also blend it into the crease, or same with the outer V and then blend it out. I like to use something a little bit fluffier to blend out everything, so I like this is more of like a pack and blend sort of brush. Then they have a beautiful angled brush. I like this one because it's quite long and quite loosely packed, if you guys can see. So I like to use this to add some shadow right here to the lash line. That's what I went and did today. And then they have a define brush, which is definitely my favorite because you can, it's just a little slightly pointed brush. You can go ahead and hit that inner corner, run underneath the lower lash line, or do some detail work in the crease. Gorgeous. I recommend all of these. I love them aesthetically. That gorgeous white handle, like I said, they have a gorgeous weight to them. Very, very luxurious product. If you're interested in them, they do have my stamp of approval, and they wash very nicely as well, which is important. So first thing with the eyeshadows, you could either buy them in a little pan like this that just swivels open. Gorgeous classic Kjaer Weis packaging. That's going to set you back $45 because they are sustainable, or you could just go ahead and buy them in the refill pan like I have here. Pop them in a magnetic palette. This is called a Z palette, and these will cost you $27 a piece. So I'm going to swatch these for you now. I love them. They're blendable. They're smooth. Sometimes with these shadows they might feel not rough, because none of them are rough, but not as buttery as you're used to with other eyeshadows, but that's just natural eyeshadows, especially if they're pressed. With the pigmentation, payoff, and blendability of all of these is great. I use these in almost every single video. Everything I'm wearing now is Kjaer Weis on the eyes. So I'm going to try and go lightest to darkest. They have a really nice array of neutrals and a couple pops of color in there. So first up is going to be Kjaer Weis Cloud 9, and Cloud 9 is one of my favorite shadows of all time because it's just that perfect inner corner brightening shade. It is like a true vanilla that has a nice reflect to it. If you guys know Mary Luminizer from the Balm, it's a conventional highlighting product. I can use this in my inner corner, or I'll even top the Kjaer Weis Radiance highlighter with this because it's such a beautiful and universally flattering tone. So that is Cloud 9. Next up is another one that I use almost on a daily basis. This is Kjaer Weis Charms, and Charms is just super duper subtle light brown. So I like to just throw this in the crease to start off any sort of blending I'm going to do. So I'll lay down maybe like a nice, maybe I'll lay down Cloud 9 all the way from lid to the brow bone. Then I'll go with this in the crease, and it'll help everything blend out. It has a nice subtle warmth to it, but won't add a ton of color, so it won't detract or erase anything that you already have on. And then this is one that I've definitely reviewed for you guys recently. This is the new one called Angelic, and Angelic is a beautiful soft matte pink. So it's just a very true dusty pink. I almost think it has a tiny bit of lilac to it, but again, because of its cool tone, very brightening. Love this all over the lid with a little bit of Charms, maybe a little bit of Cloud 9 in the inner corner. Nice, pretty look for the spring and summertime, super duper easy. Then we have Kjaer Weis Grace, and Grace is a fan favorite, I think, because it just has a universally flattering tone. It is a taupey purple. It's just a nice mid-tone shade, so you could use this for just a wash of color over the lid, use this to start building up some color in the crease. It's just one of those shades. I would say it's satin. I would say it has a little bit of light reflection, but it has no chunks of shimmer in it, so it's very beautiful. Then we have Wisdom. Wisdom is one of the first Kjaer Weis shadows I picked up because I am a huge fan of purple, and this is just a satin, like, murky sort of purple. It's not very bright. It's very cool in tone. There almost has sort of a gray tinge to it. Would look really, really beautiful with Grace. I would do Grace, add Wisdom, and then deepen it up with the next shade I'm going to talk about, which is Pretty Purple. And I love me some Pretty Purple. This shade is matte and it is much deeper in tone than the other one. Actually, I would say it almost has some sort of light purple reflect to it, but very, very subtle. Not like a normal duochrome sort of look, but again, all three of those go perfectly together. Very cool in tone, but very, very wearable for a purple shade. And then my favorite shade of the bunch, well, maybe my second favorite, this is Kjaer Weis Magnetic. Magnetic is the most gorgeous warm brown shade. I would say this is a little bit darker than a medium toned brown, and this does have maybe the faintest bit of satin to it, but for the most part it is matte. I'm wearing it today and I don't notice that it is anything but matte on the eyes. I'm just saying when I swatch it, just so you guys know. Oh, you know I love me a warm tone shadow. How could this not be one of my favorites? I'm wearing this through my crease today. And then I went ahead and deepened it up with Earthy Calm. And Earthy Calm is one that I think you guys will really like because it's just a classic dark brown. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's very, very chocolate sort of undertone, making it very wearable in my opinion. So I have this right underneath the lash line built up, in the crease built up very softly. Another one, Magnetic and Earthy Calm, just kind of go hand in hand to me. I love them for when I'm doing a more built up sort of look. And then a more recent drop as well from Kjaer Weis is Transcend. Transcend is a gorgeous warm tone shade that has almost like a red shift to it. This definitely has a tiny bit of shimmer, not a matte shade, but I would wear this in my crease as well, even if you have hooded eyelids, because it is not like sparkly. Cloud9 definitely has the most reflection to it out of all of the shades in the line, but Transcend, super wearable, very warm toned, very much in that same chocolate family as Earthy Calm, but just has a little bit more red. And then we have Divine, and Divine is just sort of like a gray and black. It doesn't have super full pigment, but I like it because it's very easy to build up. I also have that a tiny bit through my crease today. It almost has sort of like a blue tinge to it, but I wouldn't classify it as blue at all. Definitely just like a pewter deep gray. Really, really nice shade, but if you build it up, it will give the effect of like a black without being so dark. But if you want something more along the lines of a true black, we have Onyx. And Onyx is a satin, but is definitely deeper than Divine. So like I said, if you just want something a little bit more true, great for a smoky eye. It's pressed. None of these shadows have a ton of kick up in the pan or fallout on the face, so that's why I love them. Super beyond wearable. And then we have the two pops of color. These are actually some of my favorites in the line. We have Blue Wonder. Blue Wonder is truly one of the most amazing blues I've ever seen. It is like true, rich cobalt blue, that sort of shade that comes back every single year in the fall. I want to do a blue smoky eye with this, so if you guys would like to see it. Blue can actually be very wearable. In my opinion, I think especially this sort of shade, it's like a jewel tone, making it a little bit more wearable, or you could pop it underneath the lower lash line. And then we have finally Green Depth, and Green Depth has shimmer to it, so it is just a nice deep green with some gold shimmer through it. I think that makes it a little bit more wearable. Again, it is like a forest green, it's not like a lime green, so don't be afraid of it. It really is so gorgeous. Highly recommend that one. So that is it, you guys. That is the entire Kjaer Weis shadow collection reviewed and swatched. Like I said, some of the best formulations on the market, in my opinion. Great ingredients. I have no issues with these blending. The whole collection is very seamless. You don't have to think about it too much, and they do not have a lot of fallout or kick up in the pan, which some natural shadows do, just because they are harder to press. So if you guys like this video, I know a lot of you requested it, please do subscribe and give the video a big thumbs up. I upload new content every single Monday and Friday, so I really would like you guys to stay in touch with that. Don't forget to follow us on our social media as well, and I will have a photo of all of these swatches so you can go ahead and shop to your heart's content, along with all the products linked in that description box down below, so check it out. But until the next time, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye! you.